Hello and welcome to the I Still Can't Get It Right the First Time podcast. I'm Daniel and that's Adam.
Welcome to the work in progress, work in fuck my life
Exactly.
podcast.
That like
Jesus Christ
it
Almighty!
it really is cuz like my brain is immediately trying to go to not safe for work podcast and I was like, "Ah, that's definitely
Yeah,
not what it is."
that's well, it's debatable because it's gory. So
Hi, welcome to the Not Safe for Work podcast. I'm your host, Tits, and this is Ass.
together we are TNA.
Yeah.
We just like put our hands together like fucking Power Rangers, but like dun dun dun. Well, actually, that's Captain Planet, but
Brought
you
to
get the
you
point.
by HBO Max.
Yeah,
I like the fact that
right.
brands are finally realizing that changing their names to like very basic monosyllabic shit like Apple is not working, and
Yeah.
like their old designs were way better.
Yeah, I mean, there was also that like weird phase where everybody was like simplifying their like logos and shit.
Yeah, everybody's going back because like I think I honestly think that the Cracker Barrel thing that happened recently, where they just got rid of the old guy on the logo.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're finally like I think the financial incentive of them like losing a whole bunch of fucking like investor money actually is a net positive for like all of the shit.
you could say so. Yeah, yeah, man. But how are you been?
Doing right. I can't really complain too much. I'm hanging out a lot with the wife. I'm having a good time.
Nice.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. My own personal work is going a little bit slow, but that is what it is.
I mean, to be fair, you did just come back, so it's just a case of get back into the routine.
Yeah, that, and I'm also like messing around with animation stuff.
Yeah, you show me a little hack, if you will, with a program that you shouldn't technically be able to do. So
Yeah, there's a program that can do like automatic like voice acting or like voice
Mm.
lip synchronization, and
Yeah.
the free version you can't change like the character model, but you can go into the files and then change the character model, so you can still do it. It's just a little bit of a pain in the ass, but hey, free is free, man.
Yeah,
I
exactly. Yeah.
I was
So
trying to find other programs that did that, and I was like, oh boy, that really. And you know what? If I do the thing like where every character kind of has like the same mouth art style, they typically do. I think the only characters that I only have like two characters that have different mouths, and that would be easy to like change.
yeah.
Or if I like sell out and just do the fucking the bean mouth, that Cal Arts bean mouth.
Oh Christ, yeah.
It is so easy. Yeah, but the downside is it looks like Cal Arts. The upside is that I showed you how easy it is to turn that mouth into anything. So you only
Oh
have to
yeah, I
like draw
mean,
it once. Yeah.
to add to the Calax thing real quick, I actually did a drawing once that was basically like Adventure Time, kind of style drawing.
Yeah.
And the thing I found really funny was like I drew the face and I was like, wow, that took me like a whole 1 second to do. Huh? How about that?
Yeah. It's not hard. I don't have a problem with the art style. I think it's perfectly fine. I think the issue is that so many shows want it to be Adventure Time just from like studio fucking mandate garbage.
Yeah.
And so what ended up happening was a lot of shows were made that had really bad writing,
Hmm.
and the bad writing was associated with the art style because there's certain shows that kind of have that like modern-esque cartoon look that are good, like Owl House.
Yeah.
But then you have, for every Owl House, you have like Uncle Grandpa.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so or you have like five or six Uncle Grandpas. So you want to And I feel like that people were just like, I'm tired of this style because it sucks. I think the shows attached to them sucked. I think
Yeah.
that if anime if anime was like 90% garbage, I think people would be like, man, this art style sucks, even though it's just the shows themselves.
Yeah.
I do like the weird trend of anime now where they take people's like blog posts or like web comics and turn them into things because that's where you get I died and got reincarnated as a vending machine.
Yeah.
I fucking and that sounds stupid and it is stupid, but the way that it's done is perfect.
Yeah, a lot of them came from web like no, no Punch Man was actually like a web comic thing, and the drawing was fucking horrendous,
Yeah,
but like the story was good enough that it's like, yo, there's something here.
One Punch Man. I fucking love One
Yeah.
Punch Man. You know, the second season actually did something better than the fucking like comic book.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the the second season had one character actually see Saitama doing like him being insanely strong. And
Was it was
in the book, no one ever realizes that he's like turbo strong except for like one guy or two guys. But in in the show, there's an extra guy that they had where he sees Saitama just immediately insta killing something, and I was like, oh, that would be really cool if they had like a little bit of a deviation where this one fucking guy knows what happens. But then they're like, yeah, we're not making a third season. I was like, oh.
Yeah, isn't the joke that like he just worked out a lot, which is why he's super strong?
Yeah, honest to God, like there are a shitload of parallels with that show and Sexy Commando Gaiden, which is a
Oh,
really
really?
obscure Japanese like cartoon slash manga.
You show me if that's the one I'm thinking of. Like you showed me that, and I thought it was really funny in the intro for the anime where there's a guy running with drums. I think that's what I'm thinking of, right?
Yeah, there's a guy that
Yeah,
where the drums are like skating along the ground in the intro, but
yeah,
that one has basically like the same kind of thing where like his training is really stupid, and yet he's like super powerful because of it.
yeah.
Because in that one, it's like, yeah, I realized that I was a horrible like gooner, so I went up into the mountains to train, and I trained really fucking hard. And it just shows him like picking up like a picking up a porno mag and then hiding it in his shirt, and then right after that, it's like. Oh yeah, I also found these discs that came out of a fucking like alien spaceship and then I put them on my shoulders. But that's nothing to do with my important fucking karate shit, so and then
Christ.
like every character's like, "Wait, what was that?" You know, about
Yeah,
the
yeah,
aliens, and he was like,
yeah.
"Shut up. We're talking about jerking off."
Yeah, that was like that's like that, I feel like that's one of those shows where it's like and like if you're one of those people that's like, man, Japan's so weird. Like that's probably the first thing you probably assume that they're like, and yeah, I don't know what else to say really. It's a very strange.
America is so much weirder. We're like constantly talking like every single politician in the United States is like, well, think of the children, even though like on regular ass television, like cable, like regular access cable television, you can watch a movie where a guy's head gets ripped off, but they'll censor
Yeah.
swearing.
Oh yeah, America is like weird. Like, because I remember seeing a thing once about. I might have mentioned this before. I remember there was a podcast I watched about a magazine that someone looked at where in the magazine, I think it was like Kim Kardashian was like posing with like a staff, but then the staff was shaped like a you know what, basically, so it was censored. But then in the same magazine, you turn the page over and there's just all these like pictures of all these like bodies from like Iraq, basically. And it was just like, huh. So you censor that, but the violence is not that big of a deal, I guess. Interesting. Okay.
Europe had the exact opposite problem, and I saw this a little bit while I was there recently, which was they'll censor violence. They'll still have like after 8 o'clock, they'll still have tits and like swearing on
Yeah.
television, but they'll censor out violence to the point where like anime has blue blood, but
Yeah.
then what ends up happening though is that you'll walk down the street to your local corner store and then there'll be a giant ass poster of an actual dead person like you got to go save Syria and you're just like okay, I'm getting mixed messages here. Fake
Yeah.
violence.
Like, yeah, I don't get it because like you could just I mean the boring answer is oh it's a cultural thing, but like the problem is like cultures are kind of stupid. So,
I
you know.
I remember this back in the day where like, you know, we went to Toys R Us or whatever back when that was a thing. And
Yeah.
yeah, no, we went to Toys R Us and like right outside the Toys R Us, they had a fucking display that was like that and I'm like, dude, like what the fuck?
And there's like children around.
Yeah, you're just walking along and then you see like, you know, corpses like flopped over in a ditch and you're just like, "Oh yeah, this is this is way better. Thanks, Europe."
Yeah. Yeah. But again, I know the boring answer is like, you know, it's cultural shit, but like, I don't know. Like, it just feels like it's almost like in that like boundary of like double standards, you know?
Oh no,
So,
it is 100% a double standard.
yeah. God. But yeah, man. So this page right here is when the titular character, you know, like pops out of the you know what, and then she's like very fat, like you know, in the split second, just like next to stream right here. It's like, whoa, she's she ain't gonna be Rush Hour 3.
Whoa, she's dunzo, dude.
She's Donzo. She's Donzo Abbey. Also, do you like how on this page I'm doing like these three nuns are doing like the three wise monkeys kind of thing?
You fucking monkey.
Monkey,
Fucking monkey.
a monkey.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, man. I'm a smart boy.
You need to post the next fucking podcast, you creep.
Yeah, it's on my to-do list. I mean, you know, you is off. I'm off this week. I think very soon the next one's going to go up. Yeah, as we're recording this, it's been like almost 2 weeks since we posted an episode, but I posted a short of us talk about like a funny historical man. So you know.
A funny historical man with a funny historical plan to send
Yeah,
Disney kids into space
yeah,
using funny 1930s German science magic.
yeah. Thanks, Germany.
Thanks, Deutschland, my
Yeah,
hometown, my country. Oh my god, my country.
my country. I just want to send people to space.
Yeah.
Remember that film we watched called Iron Sky? That was fucking weird.
That movie, I think the problem with that movie, and one of the things that irks me the most about it, is the fact that it doesn't. It takes itself so not seriously
Mm,
that,
mm.
like, whenever serious shit does happen in the movie, you're just, like, tonally whiplashed by it.
Yeah.
Because
I will say though,
they'll do some, like, comedy shit, but then they'll do, like, actual horrible shit, and you're like, oh.
yeah. But I mean, isn't the whole point to that they're kind of like pointing out how goofy the Germans were during World War Two? The ideology.
Yeah, but at the same token, I think like the Secretary of Defense lady is really fucking annoying. Like
Oh yeah,
the lady
mm.
that creates like the spaceship and then tries to blow them up is
Yeah. That
shit.
was. It's also weirdly aged too because the president in that's like Sarah Palin, and that was like the hot topic at the time.
Oh my god, yeah. Fucking
Yeah.
Nostalgia Critic did the same thing with fucking Kikassia.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I remember watching that. I'm like, oh god, I know what time period this came out in.
Dude, Sarah Palin, like, what's even crazier about that fucking Nostalgia Critic movie is that Sarah Palin was already irrelevant by the time that they were making the jokes.
Really?
Yeah. And then it just makes me realize how long ago that was and the fact that that was like the Obama era. I was like,
Yeah,
oh my
yeah.
god. That was so long ago.
Time
Dude,
man.
fucking like Hillary Clinton got beat by her own party and Trump. I think at that point like you just pack it in. You can't run for office anymore.
Yeah, I mean that's generally the consensus. If like you lose an election, you just kind of like fuck off. Like sometimes you might like come back for one more. I mean he fucking did,
She
but
like
actually no, he won. Yeah.
Dude, people forget that she was actually part of the people who said that Obama was not an American.
Oh really?
Yeah, she was part of that. Dude, Hillary Clinton will say fucking anything in order to get like ahead. You could see that when like she basically ousted Bernie Sanders from the race the last time that she did it.
Yeah.
Man, man, oh man.
Politics is weird like that, especially American ones. I don't want to get too deep into it, but like Jesus
They were
Christ.
just like this most recent one. They were like literally anyone else, and they picked the most horrible fucking candidate ever. They're like, oh man,
Mhm.
literally anyone else outside of old Biden, like we will vote for that fucking guy. And they were just like, yeah, it's Kamala Harris, like the old fucking farts right hand man. And you're like, oh, oh no, like when we said literally anyone else, we meant like the, oh god, they're so dumb. They're so dumb.
I won't get too into it, but like I will say though, do you feel like it was kind of elder abuse that they made Biden do all that stuff because he could not function like at all?
Oh, when he was a Roomba and he kind of just like fucking on
Yeah,
stage.
yeah. Like when I saw that, I was just like, yeah, I think this is just elder abuse. Like that
Yeah,
that man was not fit to do anything at that point.
and it turns out now he has like fucking prostate cancer or whatever.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh, God.
Yeah, like no
But
shit. Yeah, that's rough, man. Like they really did just like hop him up on some drugs and throw him on stage.
of course they did. Yeah, that's why I say it's elder abuse. Like,
Yeah.
Christ.
And yet
Yeah.
Bernie Sanders is a billion years old and still sharp as a knife.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, we have a comic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have a comic. It's about Joe Biden,
Joe Biden
Joe Joe Bunny,
Joe Biden and the half bloods shit.
Joe Biden and the Half Blood Prince.
Yeah. You know what's weird about the half blood Prince is that like out of all the films, that's the one I remember the least. And that's like where all this shit goes down to.
Half Blood Prince. I forgot there
Yeah.
was a movie called that.
Me to see, like I can't remember shit about it, and that's like where a lot of important stuff happens.
Oh, wasn't that the one where like they fucking use a dragon to like escape a fucking like warehouse building or whatever?
No, that was definitely Hallows Part One. See, like
What the fuck was
even
Half Blood Prince then?
well, that was the one where Harry finds the book in his like potions class that was like all tattered, and it was by the Half Blood Prince who basically was figured like because in the book it says, oh yeah, cut the bean to break it, but then this book says like, nah, don't fuck cut it, just crush it with a knife, and then it's revealed later on that the Half Blood Prince is actually Snape. Because like when he starts using these spells,
Oh,
he's like, "Ah, I show you your spells against me." I don't know why he sounds like Sean Connery, but yeah.
I will
And then
use your spells against the Potter.
God, Harry Potter, God, fucking
You gotta roll that cottage cheese.
cottage cheese, yeah.
Potter.
Potter.
That
Good
fucking
evening, Potter.
no, that's still funny. The fucking Ronald Weasley. It's
It's
Leviosa.
Leviosa. Oh, Leviosa.
Accio bomb.
You
Run.
know, my one of the guys at work is like a big Harry Potter fan, and I remember once he came into work with like the wand because he was just, that's how much of a fan he is. He's kind of nerdy. And then what I did was I held the wand and I fucking like flicked it like Leviosa, and he's just like, "Stay the fuck away from me."
You're so funny. And then proceeds to
Oh,
kill you.
yeah, yeah. I avocadavered me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Akio bomb. No.
He abracadabraed. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was gonna reach out and grab you.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually looked into that thing about the actor who played Lucius Malfoy. So because I told you before how he was reading the book and then he just like whipped out the Abacadabra spell. Turns
Oh,
out that like so it turns out that that him saying that spell wasn't so much the fact that he actually knew it was the killing curse. He was like, I know I've been reading the book. I remember some of these spells. I'm just gonna randomly say one of them. And
no,
out of all the spells he
he
picked,
looked
it was
he looked at. I know this story. He looked at the guy on set, and he was just like, he looked at like a lighting guy, and he was like, so like, what fucking spell should I use? I can't remember any of these. And he was like, oh yeah, you should definitely use this one. Should I use that one? You know, like yeah. So like he was gonna he was gonna kill the shit out of somebody right in front of God and everyone because he lost a slave. That's another weird thing about Harry Potter is that just slavery is just an accepted thing in that universe.
oh yeah, like I've been running around Hogwarts Legacy, and there's just house elves everywhere, just like cleaning up the kitchens, the windows, the fucking like stables. Like they're just there, and I'm like, oh okay, then I guess these guys are actually just a slave race. Then I
Boo,
see.
boo, I'm a little slave, boo. I'm a little
Yeah.
slave, boo, boo.
I'm gonna scrub the toilets. Yeah,
You
it's just
gave
like
you gave Dobby a clock. Turns invisible, kills the entire cast.
yeah,
Oh yeah, you know
yeah,
what? That's a really funny thing that they never bring up. Like Dobby not only has like extraordinarily powerful fucking magic, he is also one of the
yeah,
few creatures that can turn completely invisible on like command. So like
yeah,
literally, if they gave him a knife and said, go find he who shall not be named and stab him," like
yeah,
Dobby
yeah.
would be like an invisible fucking cruise missile.
I love the idea that in the world of Harry Potter, there's a house elf that's basically just Rambo. So it's like, yo, Rumble, we'll call you Rumble. Rumble, you must go into the Deathly Hallows. You gotta kill all the Deathly Hallows. But Rumble, it isn't a killer. Rumble does it for peace. Peace is made through war. Rumble. Oh, I guess I can't argue with that. And then he goes invisible, just kills everyone.
Oh my god, it was like just, that would be something that'd be in like some really shitty like comedy film from like the early 2000s where they just did references. You just
Yeah,
like get Sylvester Stallone to play like the fucking house elf for like 2 seconds.
yeah.
Oh
And
yeah,
then,
Dobby
but
Free. Oh,
oh, right. Why does it sound like a bro, dude?
oh yeah, yeah. You get you get Patrick Warburton. Oh yeah, Dobby Free. Oh,
Oh yeah. I
your
brought peace to the. I
your
brought peace to
mom
the
is
world.
abracadabra.
You fucking. I brought peace to the Wizarding world.
Hey Peter.
And he just like smokes. He smokes a cigar in this case because it's the Wizarding world. It's like all magical shit.
Hey Peter, give me a sock. Oh yeah, it's all coming together. Oh
Oh
no! Wow,
wow! I was gonna say I thought you was just silent by like the stupidity.
not funny. Didn't
Not.
laugh.
Yeah, for, in case it gets missed out on the actual thing, Discord just shut itself for like a second there because like we were doing like Family Guy jokes, which is like which is like as unfunny as a fucking clown in a room, and it was like you just went silent. Then I was like, oh, hello, hello, Christ. But yeah, you are here though, yeah.
No,
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 I made
not
this
not
dwarf.
anymore.
Not anymore.
Discord is
God,
our
I made this.
god.
Yeah, God, I made this like dwarf nun like incredibly thick. Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
On my Gorm, and then she's like the one character that everybody remembers, and you never see her
Listen, we're
again.
supposed to be fucking like role models at all times, okay? Not only that, this is a comic that like we're selling to people in general, but it's an adult comic. So that means we have to worry about the kids. So
Yeah, all
you need to stop showing interest in women.
the. are you like hetero? You fucking. No, I'm not gonna say that out loud.
I love the fact that like a guy like Shiro Matsumune, the guy who made Ghost in the Shell, they were like, so like you made one of the best like women characters ever. Like, what was your thought process in the design? He's like, oh well, you know, I knew that like a fucking invisible suit would actually be skin tight because that's where the technology is going. So I just
Mhm.
didn't want to draw man ass the entire time,
Yeah, yeah.
and that's like that's literally it.
Yeah, you know what's weird is there are people that play games that are like, I don't want to fucking play a third person game where I'm playing as a man because I have to stare at this guy's ass all the time. Which is funny
That
because
is literally me for fucking Fallout 3.
right, right. But the funny thing is like they say that, but here's the thing: when I play a game and I have to play as a man in a third person view, that never crosses my mind when I'm playing the game because I'm looking straight forward at like what's probably past the character. Which means that the people who are saying this are probably like extremely insecure, you know?
I guess I'm insecure
But
then. Yeah.
yeah, but I don't know, man. Like that's such a weird like thing to say out loud as well. So I don't look at man ass all the time. It's like I that doesn't even register in my head when I'm playing third person games. Even when I'm playing as the woman, that never goes like never registers in my head. It's people are fucking weird, man.
I don't know.
Bunny bunny.
I think that like I think this is something that like weirdly like Mr. Plinkett out of all people, like the Red Letter Media guy said, which was I mean, sexuality like can be an integral part of like a character, like you know Han Solo and Princess Leia, like that romantic chemistry added a lot when
Yeah,
he gets frozen
yeah.
because it made it hit harder because then you're like oh wow like so I think that a balancing act of that kind of thing. I feel like too many people nowadays are focusing too heavily on sexuality.
Oh, so like Ubisoft writing is what you're saying?
Yeah, it's like okay,
Yeah.
well, who like if it really doesn't affect the story, then like what's the point of adding it in? The only thing like I've talked this is something that I haven't talked about on the podcast, I think, which is
Yeah.
economic screen time.
All right, go on.
Economic screen time is okay, let's say your movie's 2 hours long. If you put something in a movie that doesn't have anything to do with the plot and only something to do with like modern politics or whatever your fucking ideology is or some kind of like browbeating over the head message that like it's just kind of tacked on to the movie, you're taking
Yeah.
away valuable screen time from the actual like characters and plot because what
Hmm.
and that could be like anything. It doesn't have to be like this modern like movies are bad because of fucking politics. Like even if it was just like oh we're gonna have like a character like make toast for instance, like
Yeah. Yeah.
that can negatively affect the flow of the storytelling and it removes time for you to learn the characters. If you did it for like a show, you have more screen economy. You like basically like you have an expanded like time table. So you can have like for instance Evangelion, you can have them in an elevator just standing there for 5 fucking minutes saying nothing
Yeah.
because you have the time for it. If you did that in a movie, it doesn't really work because you're running out of screen time. Could you imagine if in the movie Predator, I know a lot of people jump to the movie Predator, but like the thing is, John McTiernan movies are like economically very fucking like they understand the economy of filmmaking. I,
Yeah.
you know, everybody says like Predator for some reason. I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna say another John McTiernan movie, which is Die Hard. Could you imagine if like there was a 5 minute scene of just like you know a Tarantino esque scene of Hans Gruber just reading the news for no reason while he's
Yeah.
talking
Yeah.
to one of his henchmen. And
Yeah.
I mean, it could work and it could be funny, but it would take 5 minutes away from everything else in the movie. So you would be removing, like, maybe him shooting the guy through the table or him just realizing that they're going to blow up the fucking building. You would, or you, something would have to be cut in order for that scene to exist, and that scene would add absolutely nothing to the movie. Could
Yeah,
it
that actually raises a
Could it work? Yeah, but are writers talented enough right now to do that? No.
Yeah, that actually raises a question because there's been something I've been morbidly curious about in regards to films. Is there like an agreement behind the scenes where it's like, hey, listen, a film needs to be so long. If you go over the length, we're not like putting this out there. Because I know that delete scenes are a thing, but like, a
Okay,
typical Harry Potter film's like 2 hours, right? So do they say, oh, great, this has to be about 2 hours?
so you have to think of it this way. If it's 2 hours, um, let's say that a theater, like 2 hours, it's the amount of times you can actually show the movie in the theaters. Because if it's 3 hours, you could probably only show the movie 3 times, right?
Right.
If the movie's 2 hours, that means that you can show the movie 8 times in a day using that one screen.
Yeah.
So you can get more asses in seats and make more money. And then that's when they do like the 3 hour long cut for movies for DVD sales and stuff, because you can watch the movie however the fuck long you want, and they just increase the price to make it a premium product.
Gotcha.
It's like the Schneider cut,
Yeah.
because you're not gonna like. Also, like, you have to think, not only for like a 3 or 4 hour movie would you have to like do that, you'd also have to have like an interim piss break. I know that they don't really do intermissions anymore.
No, not in the UK at least.
They don't do that at all.
Yeah, that's net. Yeah, as long as I've been alive, that's never been a thing for me.
The only time that they had an intermission that I could remember was like Kung Pao Enter the Fist, and that was a joke one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, where they're like, "Get yourself a carbonated soda. My nipples look like milk duds."
God, that film.
I
God,
have a yellow
sure.
liquid for your popcorn, and it's non-dairy.
That is I remember you showed me that film, and I was like, "What the fuck was that?" The one that always like I love the beginning. It's like, "Ah, so cute. Bye bye." Yeah, she like rolls the baby down the cliff. She's sticking her tongue out.
No, that's her mouth.
Oh,
She's
I
got
see
that
that.
like her Doyle.
Gorge. It is I, the main character. Yuck.
It is I, the main character, who just killed all of your party members, and then we were like, how do we get Stream to like go along with this insane character? And then we were like, oh, let's just make her an indentured servant.
Yeah. We need to start talking about the comic more. Like we don't really say much about it, I've realised. Yeah, we could probably
Yeah,
talk
we
about
don't really talk about the goop.
yeah, it's we talk about
We-
everything.
you don't even know how
Alec.
funny that is yet.
Yeah, oh yes, it just occurred to me, yeah.
The goop.
The goop. The
Duh.
goop. The goop is out there.
The
It's
goop.
just really
Duh.
before you know it, you pursue the goop will find you.
Yeah.
Do not pursue the goop poo. Fuck, I tried to rhyme it like Lubu.
You suck.
No,
You legitimately suck. I don't know why
I
I'm
know.
doing this project with you. Cuts to credits.
Yeah, it just gets cancelled before it's even out. Yeah. Hey, was this minister going to be a man or a woman? I can't remember because I know they were going to be all this shit.
Does it really matter?
I'll just make it a fucking. Yeah, I'll just wing it.
Make it a guy. We have too many ladies.
It's too many women. Let's get. You know what? Get the women out of here.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. It's gonna take another 4 years because we're gonna unwokeify this project.
We're gonna unwokify, and then once it like rolls back round to how the world used to be, we're gonna have a version where everyone's in bikinis, and then that'll be like the pre-order edition. And then once that's
Yeah.
done, and we get like we get like shat on for it, then we'll go back to wokifying it. Um,
Yeah, God, woke is such a fucking gross.
I hate that word. It's so cringy.
I say it as a fucking joke, but I do not. Unlike lol or something like that, like where I said it ironically and then, I started saying it for real. Woke is just one of those words that just never comes out of my mouth unless I'm being a shithead jokester. Because that word is so fucking cringe now.
The moment I realized when that word was like super cringe was when I was at work and I talked to a guy about that Pirate Yakuza game. And then and the first thing he said to me was, "Is this like a woke thing?" Which is hilarious because I feel like pirates are the least woke thing imaginable.
It's
So
it's pirates being played by Yakuza. So you have mafia guys being like the worst people imaginable, even more so.
yeah, yeah. So for him to be like, "Is this a woke thing?" It's just like, it was fucking Blackbeard woke then, because as far as I checked, he wasn't. I don't know, man.
There'd be some kind of BuzzFeed article where it's like, he freed a ship of fucking like black slaves. Yeah, but what they don't tell you is that he marooned them on an island some to steal the ship. So you're like,
He,
oh,
he,
yikes.
he, he, he marooned them on an island so that way the next slave ship can pick them up.
Yeah, but then
So
they took over that ship and then turned into their own fucking group of pirates. So like that would have been like the ultimate like historical thing where they all get together and just fucking shoot at each other for revenge. But
God, that'd be
the Earth is fucking massive, and it's just a constant flux of bullshit happening.
yep. Yeah, man. But yeah, no. But yeah, the comic is yeah. We are joking, just so you know, in case anybody that donate to this is just like, oh no. But no, no. Yeah, we're normal people.
I mean,
We
there's a
like
few.
things.
I mean, there's a few things that like in this comic that pull from history. It's not history happened, right? History
Yeah.
happened, and you can. It's not like we're making light of the situation. We're not saying like, "Oh, it's a good thing that happened." Yes, high five,
No.
everybody. We should go back to that. No, we're not saying that. It's just that I'm really autistic when it comes to history stuff, and I just like talking about it. And I don't like sugarcoating it because sugarcoating history is where you get like Christopher Columbus was a really cool dude actually, and you're like, no, that is very much not the case.
Yeah, it's God.
And people don't want like Christopher Columbus Day because of Christopher Columbus. People wanted Christopher Columbus Day because they just wanted a fucking like Italian Heritage Day. In fact, if you called it Italian Heritage Day, people would just be like, "Oh wow, okay, then fuck it. There you go."
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, it's. I mean, yeah, like I mean, hell, even that book I'm writing right now, the one on the side, there's like I actually kind of realized I accidentally made an allegory about something that's currently happening because, like, when you write stuff in the moment, you kind of pinch from history.
You write what you know, and if you know history, then you pull from history. If you know from like
Yeah.
personal fucking shit, then you pull from that. Like I'm under the impression that talking about writers, J.K. Rowling, J.K. Rowling,
Yeah.
that's her name. It's spelled
Yeah.
weird, but that's how you pronounce it. J.K. Rowling, like,
Hmm.
yeah, she pulled from a whole bunch of like fantasy movies that she used to watch.
Oh yeah. Well, I think it was mostly books, but yeah, it's like a lot of it. Yeah, she pinched from a lot of it, but like a lot of it is also just like made up from her own like head. But I mean, for example, like the basilisk, like that's like borrowed from like other stuff.
Yeah,
But yeah, like she was heavily inspired by stuff like that. So
it all comes
it's sort of
from somewhere. You're basically telling the same story over and over, but with a new coat of paint. And
pretty
there's
much
there
yeah.
is absolutely nothing wrong with that.
I mean, I could tell you all the things that inspired Honey Bunny. I could tell you this right now. There was a character in Crash Bandicoot called Ripperoo, who was this like blue dingo character that was like in a straitjacket. He was like one of the bad guys. And I always thought that was such a unique character because I don't really see like many straitjacket characters. And especially, I don't see any characters who are the main characters wearing that shit, you know? So then I
Yeah,
was like, what if that was like the main character? And then, we like play around with that. But then I was also watching Dragon Ball. So, there's going to be a lot of action where she's like tearing people apart. And then another character too, which funny enough, since we kind of touched upon it, was Goro Majima from Yakuza, who's the crazy guy who you plays at the pirate game, funny enough. So yeah, like that's like a couple of examples of that. Although funny enough, like her being a rabbit was actually the last thing I had to be because like I came up with a character. It's like okay, I want it to be a woman. I want it to be crazy. I want it to be a straitjacket. And then I was like, what could make this pop? Fuck it, just make it a rabbit, I guess. And then people are just like, oh, this looks pretty cool.
I think at the time we were watching Dragon Ball, and we watched the really shitty episode where there's like Mr. Carrot.
Oh God, yeah.
That the worst episode of Dragon Ball, and
Do
you
you
were
think that's the
like,
worst?
I think that that's probably the worst episode of the original series of Dragon Ball, hands down.
No shit.
Yeah, because it doesn't do anything. It
I,
doesn't.
I
It
reckon that
doesn't do
was
anything. Like
yeah.
the only thing that it does is put like the only thing that it does two things. One, it makes Yamcha turn into a good guy,
Hmm.
which he was kind of already doing anyways.
Yeah.
So that's like the only important thing that episode does to the plot. The only other thing it does is give like it gives Bulma an outfit change.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it.
I looked up Monster Carrots. I think he's actually canon. Like he wasn't a filler, which is
Well,
really funny.
he was a filler episode. Like he was a filler episode character. I because
No, he's in the manga.
I understand that he's from the manga. It's just that part sucks. It sucks a
Yeah.
lot. He looks
I liked.
he
Yeah.
looks really cool in the manga. Like
Yeah.
it's just
You know what?
boy, like that definitely that smacks of Akira Toriyama making it up on the fly.
I was about to say, yeah, because with how early it is, I like to imagine that's him trying to figure it out, you know?
Yeah.
I will say, though, it is really funny that, like, he has the ability to turn people into food, which is, like, one of the moves that one of the biggest villains in Dragon Ball has, which is Majin Buu.
Well, the he would be one of the most like insane powerful villains. It's just that he got like killed as a goof character because
Yeah.
it literally his power is if he touches you, you turn into fruit or vegetables, and then you're
Yeah.
dead. You're basically dead unless he touches you again.
Yeah.
There's another character in Dragon Ball who's also really powerful, where he just like he shoots you with a blast, which is almost impossible to dodge, and then like that blast takes all of your fucking negative emotions about yourself, and they make like those negative emotions make you explode from the inside out.
Yeah,
And
like, you told me about that, yeah, and I was
and
like,
it's
what the
like one of
fuck?
the most powerful moves ever, and it's just like a character that got like killed in Dragon Ball like super early on. If this character
Yeah.
went up again, this is a thing that Yu Yu Hakusho did really well because so the guy who wrote Yu Yu Hakusho realized that when a character becomes super powerful, like they do in like these cartoons, like the main
Yeah.
characters, it's really there's two ways you can go about making the show last a little bit longer. One is that you get a character that's even more powerful than them, so it's a never-ending cycle of them getting strong and then them beating a stronger guy.
Hmm.
But the more interesting and rare thing to see is they become powerful to the point where they're the strongest characters. But
Yeah.
then you throw a wrench in the mix where they have to fight something that's like magic that has rules. Because then it's not about them being strong anymore. Now they have to use their brains and also their strength in a creative way. And I find that that's a lot more interesting
God, Yu Yu Hakusho, like that journey surprised me as a show because
There's a great
you,
it,
yeah,
just as an example, just real quick. Sorry, I'll cut you off for a second, but he has to like Yusuke is super powerful and he can like punch the head off of God, but like he fights a guy that can read his mind. So like this guy is just like boxing the shit out of him because he can dodge all of his moves before it happens. So what he does is because he's so powerful, he's like in his brain, he's like, I'm gonna punch and stop directly in front of his face. And the guy's like, oh, fine, fuck it. Like, he doesn't dodge it at all. But he's so powerful that the wind from his punch knocks him out. Which is a creative way. That's a creative way to do it.
I was gonna say that's pretty. That's actually pretty funny. Yeah, but that's cool. That's actually really cool. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Sorry, I cut you off. What were you going to say?
Oh
Thing about Yu Yu Hakusho?
no, I was just gonna say I was because we there was a phase where we was just watching anime, a lot of like old good stuff, you know. And I was just generally shocked at how good that was, and I was also shocked at where it went to. I mean, I never finished it, but the fact that it's like a whole tournament thing, I was like, wait, what? Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you thought that it was a tournament fighter show from what people talk about, but then when we were watching it, like you were surprised at all of the like
Detective.
detective stuff and like the characters, and instead of like a tournament fighter, like they go and like attack a castle and shit.
Yeah,
And
which
you're like,
journey
huh.
surprised me.
And
I
like,
will say though. Oh, sorry.
no, go ahead.
I did have to do a bit of a double take when there was that monk character with like the peace wimble on his head.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, he had the swastika on his head, the
The
ninja
original
guy.
one.
Yeah,
The original one where it was because this is the thing, like I know what that is. I imagine the general public doesn't know what that is. So, you know.
yeah, he's a ninja with like, a Buddhist swastika on his head.
Hmm. You know, I remember having a funny moment once when I was writing the buzz where a guy, like an old foreign bloke, had like a very like religious looking outfit and it was like plastered with like the original swastika, which and I remember seeing that, think to myself, I know what that is, so I don't have a problem with it. However, I wouldn't be surprised if he's going into some trouble with that. But you know,
It is what it is. I mean, you
I
know,
mean, Hitler. I mean,
he made
I
it.
must have ruined a lot of things.
He didn't even steal like the thing about like the funny like Austrian man is that he didn't
Yeah.
even steal that from Buddhism. He stole it from another nationalist party that stole that from. So he wasn't even original in that regard. Like somebody else took it from Buddhism and then like he stole that from a completely different small group that got absorbed into the party.
Yeah.
I love the Norm Macdonald joke where it's like, and then they attacked the world again. Where do you think you are, Germany? Mars?
Mars.
I think at a certain point you don't gonna be a country no more.
Christ.
Norm, that clip of Norm Macdonald at the YouTube live thing.
Oh, that's rough. Oh,
Oh, it's
fuck me.
so awesome.
I mean, he's funny, but like, fuck me.
If you don't know what we're talking about, just go to YouTube and type in Norm Macdonald killing it.
So YouTube had this thing called YouTube Comedy Week, where it was meant to be all these like YouTubers, like primarily in like comedy, you know.
It was like an
But the
awards
thing,
show, yeah.
but the problem is that none of the people were fucking funny, and the whole thing apparently was like even the people that attended it said like it was actually kind of a disaster, and
It was that
it
early
oh
2000s. It was that early like 2010s like lulls to random like I'm awkward and quirky.
yeah,
How are
and
your vitamins going? And like Norm Macdonald is sat across two of these individuals and he's just taking the piss the entire time, which is great.
Well, what made it even funnier too is like he makes it abundantly clear that he hates this comedy. So it's like enough of these jokes, you know.
Enough of these fucking jokes. Let's ask a real question.
Yeah, but the bit that makes me laugh, my favorite bit, is when he's like fucking with the ads. So it's like, oh yeah, if you any of you want to check this out, just go to this thing, subscribe to this, and he's like, no, no, don't put your credit card on that.
Yeah, don't do that. Like, it's my thing about the internet. You don't want to put like anything on there because Rastaman 665. He said he was gonna come to my house and kill me. Like,
No, they did not deserve Norm Macdonald there. Like, I don't even know why he was even there to begin with, because like that is just like not his scene whatsoever.
they probably said, you know, who would be really funny here, like him. They probably had a list of guys, and he was the only guy to say yes because he saw an opportunity to just slay.
Probably. I mean, YouTube, it's not the first time that YouTube has got somebody like a celebrity who's just not a YouTuber. It's like when they get like Will Smith or The Rock to like appear on YouTube stuff. It's like, yes, because that's who I think when I think about YouTube is Will Smith. I mean, I think
See,
of him for different reasons, but you know.
that's one of the well. See, the reason why I could see that is because both of those guys were like Nickelodeon Kids Choice Awards guys.
Yeah.
So that's one of those like things where because Will Smith was in the Nickelodeon show Fresh Prince.
I
So
mean,
him
yeah.
him hosting something like that and then him hosting like some kind of award show isn't outside of the realm of possibility. But you have a wild card like Norm Macdonald who just says whatever the fuck comes to his brain.
Mm, mm.
You're it
I,
unless you're
yeah.
ready for that, it is a recipe for disaster.
Well, yeah, because like even if I was like in charge of hosting something, like I would have to think if I like I would actually do my research when it comes to individuals. So like if I was to hire someone who's like a fucking comedian and he's known for a certain type of humor, I'd probably say to myself, okay, I really like this guy. Is he suitable for this? You know?
It's one of the things that like this is going to be me talking about like my own personal experiences like the army, the
Oh
US
yeah.
Army. The US Army has a really big problem or just the military in general where they'll do like all right, we're going to do like advertising campaign where we're going to get some like YouTubers who are really like popular to come onto the military base and then like look at like our museum. And it's like,
Hmm.
oh yeah, we can set that up. It'd be really easy. It'd be like a win for us. And then they're like, some guy, some busybody will show up, and then it'll just be like, yeah. So when we said that they were gonna be here, does that mean that they're gonna like we're gonna have to like close the museum down for them to record? It's like, yeah. It's like, well, we can't really do that. And then they're like, well, we saw some of his content, and it like could be a little bit risky. And then it goes by committee from being something that's definitely happening to it got armied to death.
Oh God. I feel like you've talked about this. Okay, carry on, because I feel like I might know what this is.
Yeah, there's a lot of instances of that. I tried, I did stuff on military bases and like trying to get anybody to like actually do something. And I think that's one of the reasons why their PR is fucking horrible because they just don't allow anything to fucking ever happen because some guy is like, this is not the fucking. And then, the actual, like, that same exact guy does something really stupid. So
Yeah.
they had a. Remember, like, the World War II thing where they're like, oh, like, you want to be, like, really cool, like the World War II guys. And then, like, they also brought back, like, the pink and greens uniform for the army instead of like the blue dress uniform.
Oh yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, remember like World War II shit? It was really fucking cool." So they made this ad campaign where they're like, "Ah, remember your fucking like military heritage," and it showed like World War II soldiers like walking, but so they oopsie do like they didn't get. So I understand where they came from with this. So the image was of Nazi soldiers depressed and like retreating, but
Yeah.
the way that they framed it made it look like, oh yeah, remember our fucking heritage when we were Nazis.
Oh no.
Yeah. So
Oh.
I understand where somebody would come from to like make that image. However, nobody looked at that and said, "Yeah, that's fucking awful." Recently, like this was like a few I think this was like last year. There was like a Marine fucking poster where it's a silhouette of a guy like, saluting, and it's
Yeah.
like, be proud of what you do or whatever, but the silhouette looks like he's holding a Glock to his head.
Christ. Oh no. Oh.
And I was like, guys.
That I feel like there's a guy there who probably. Do you feel like it's a case of like there's probably a guy there that has like because he's like in the thing, like his perspective is a bit skewed and how that looks to the general public.
I think it's definitely like there is a guy on the team that outranks everyone and says, "No, I want it to be this." And then
Mm.
everyone's just like, but you can't do that. And it's like, it doesn't look like that at all. So make it the way that I want it. Otherwise, you'll get demerits or whatever. And everyone's just like,
And
okay, fuck it. Let's do it that way, I guess. And then, that comes out. And then everyone's like, oh. It's that thing where it's just like, something killed by committee.
yeah. Christ Almighty.
Yeah, that's that. But that one was really fucking bad, but also really hilarious.
I, honestly, that's a topic in of itself. He's like army ads because like the UK's had its fair share of like oopsie doodles. The only one I could think of recently was when they were actually considering on having like army adverts within Fortnite, and that went horribly wrong.
Dude, I think like one of the best ad campaigns ever for the military was actually like the Go Army shit, where they actually made a video game where you go through
Hmm.
like actual basic training in order to fucking play the game. And it was like
Yeah,
an online multiplayer, and you're like, wow, look at this. They actually did a thing. It wasn't great, but it was also like free.
yeah,
So like I think like it's still one of the better like military simulators. And you're like, wow, look at that. That's really fucking neat. And they also like I remember, oh god, whenever there was like an air show or something, they would have like the Go Army team in like a fucking simulation jeep where every
yeah,
single one of the windows was a screen that you could shoot out of like Time Crisis.
yeah.
And you're like, wow, that's really fucking cool. I mean, say what you will about the military or like the military industrial complex, but they do have to hire people in order to have a army.
Of
And then
course, yeah.
like, if you want to get people excited about doing it, that's a great way to do it.
I know. It's just sometimes the way they go about it is like really fucking weird.
Like like, and the other thing too, and I think this is just a change of like mentality, was they were like, oh man, like you can't show like people being like real warriors and like killers and stuff. And I'm like, but that's like the whole fucking point of having soldiers, is that they
Yeah,
go and they like have to defend and possibly kill people. Like that's a thing. And so like you don't want like psychopaths doing that, but you also need to explain to people that that's what they're signing up for.
yeah,
And if you explain to people that that's what they're signing up for, but you also make it enticing to do so, then you're going to get candidates for the job that are in the right headspace to do the job. If the only thing you say to people is like it's really good for college and personal like betterment and future career shit, and then they get blown up during wartime and they're like, I blame the military for all this. It's like, well, yeah, that person signed up for the wrong fucking reason. You had somebody sign up for like school or whatever, when in
yeah.
reality, it is the military.
Yeah, like, honestly, if anybody blames the army for getting like shot up, it's just like, well, I mean, you know what you got into, honestly.
If people blame the military for giving them fucking PTSD, like that shit can happen, but I think that it is a marketing issue where you're selling the military as like fucking fun summertime camp, when in reality
Yeah.
it is war fighting. Like
It's just it's,
if you listen to like World War I videos, almost every one of them, like, it's a guy crying about like some fucked up shit that happened, but like almost all of them joined because they were like, yeah, we had to stop the Hun from taking over all of Europe. So
yeah.
if I could do it, I'd do it again. It was like summer camp. It was it's like it was sad, and then they talk about like something that made them cry, and it's really fucked up. But they're like, I was doing my duty to my country.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah, probably.
some of that could be chalked up to like the mentality at the time, but other than that, like they they were marketing that war as like, we gotta save the world, guys.
I mean, it was a world war, wasn't it? So yeah.
Yeah, we gotta save the fucking world, guys. Let's like boot up and get out there, instead of like,
Yeah.
yeah, you want to help your career, you want to get to college. The military's a good way to do that. And then they're like, people join, and then they're surprised that they're getting their ass kicked in boot camp, and then they all fucking quit. Like,
Yeah.
big shocker. You're not gonna get war fighters from, and I think a lot of that also has to do with, the only reason if anybody wants to know why I fucking feel that way, is I was a fucking army brat. My dad was in the military for like 20 plus years. So
Was yeah.
I had a very distinct understanding of the military, and like the family life that comes with that.
Yeah.
But
You
like,
have
yeah,
a bit of an idea, yeah.
yeah, I'm not gonna say that I never did combat or anything like that. I'm not gonna fucking weasel my way in. Like, I'm not gonna fucking stolen
Stop.
valor.
No, no, you're not. You're not that. I can assure you, he's not that.
Yeah, no, it's just, I've my dad knew guys that did shit like that, and sometimes during parties they would act really fucking weird.
Yeah.
They get really drunk and then act like absolute cretins, and then you're like, why is he like that? And then you have the discussion, and then you're like, oh, okay, I get that. Still not great, but that's a thing that just happened.
Yeah. Do you find it kind of crazy to think that World War One and Two aren't really that long ago?
No, they're not. But like, the other thing is that there are conflicts that exist and have existed from that
Yeah.
time period that are still going on, and
Mm-hmm.
nobody talks about them.
Yep.
Like, the Congo is like another like, on the level of conflict. The Congo is like a whole nother world war that no one talks about. Or the fact that like, we're still technically at war with North Korea.
Yep.
Like
Technically, we are. Yeah.
like that war never stopped. It went into a fucking stalemate. But like, we're still technically at war with them.
Yep.
That's
Um,
crazy. And nobody
wait.
nobody really gives a shit.
Yeah. I mean, you know what I think it is? I think it's just because like it's still such a huge stalemate that it's just like nothing's happening.
I think it's really difficult to care about something that you're really like you would have to read like a history book. You would have to like understand like all of the, it takes a lot of effort to get what the fuck it's about, and then B, like, it's so far away and far removed from your own personal shit that nobody can care about it. There are more people that cared about like that CEO guy recently in the news, like stealing a
Oh,
hat at a baseball game, than
I saw that. Yeah.
what's going on in like the Ukraine. So like, it's
Do you
it's
think it's also? Sorry.
it's because that's super relatable, and that's a thing that you can easily get angry about for like a day.
Yeah, because like it happened in day-to-day life. So like him doing that, it's just like yeah, people are gonna be like more glued to that than they are like, oh, that zone all the way over there, you know. So
There's a conflict happening really far away that like we don't have any control over except for our tax dollars, which we don't have control over anyways.
Yeah.
And then you see like actual like people living their lives and shit footage, and then trying to make the best out of the situation. And I feel like that shit should actually be rolled up into the front instead of like drone footage. I think that if you actually make the Ukrainians extraordinarily human, and like if you make any group of people extraordinarily human, then it's really easy to actually care.
Yeah. Not even sure how we got here, honestly.
So Honey Bunny in
Honey Bunny, yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not devoid of talking about politics and stuff. It's just that
No.
if you think that I am going to immediately go into some clickbaity kind of like mentality where it's like, well, I believe in this cause because of whatever, you're horribly mistaken. I like to take the middle ground, the middle road, and I never see things as black and white when it comes to reality.
No, no. I mean, to be fair, like us doing this is like it's like like killing two birds with one stone because like we always wanted to do a podcast regardless. It's just that we're also making this comic, so we're just doing both. And, I've had people in my private life saying like, "Oh, you don't really talk about the comic." It's just like, yeah, but then again, we're not exactly obligated to do so. So
Well, the thing is that like us not talking about the comic, like us talking in general, is just getting our noggins jogging in order to actually work on the fucking thing.
yeah,
We could be
because a lot of people
talking
don't.
about literally anything.
Because a lot of people don't realize like when you talk, when you think, it gets the brain going. And I don't know if this is true, but I've heard that like the more you keep your brain active, like the less likely you're going to get dementia. If I'm right. But
There's mitigating factors to that.
mm,
I
mm,
think that, and this is a cry against like echo chambers and stuff. Echo chambers being whenever you're in a group of people who all have the same ideal or ideology, and nobody ever like debates philosophies. You don't have to
yeah,
agree with the philosophy, but like just having a debate just to see where you stand, like,
mm,
or just hearing other opinions, even though like they're not opinions that you like. Being
yeah.
able to like listen to that, understand where it's coming from, having a discussion keeps you from like radicalizing. And it doesn't
Yeah.
like not even like politically. It just like even on the most basic shit, like, oh man, movies suck because women. No, movies don't suck because women. Women are in the movies now. The problem is that at the time that women got their chance to be in movies, writing got really fucking terrible. It would be the same thing.
It did,
Oh,
yeah.
you could replace women in that fucking sentence with Smurfs. Man, oh man, Smurfs are ruining fucking movies. It's like, well, no, it's not that the Smurfs are ruining movies. You can make a good Smurf movie. It's just that at the time that they made a Smurf movie, they had to do that really stupid like cartoon to live action bullshit where they had to have a recognizable movie star in the role, which creates a really shitty movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's actually impressive that like Sonic got out of that.
And it did, yeah. I mean, you're on about the movie, right?
Yeah, because Sonic was like the same shitty plot line where it's like cartoon character, real life character, go on a fucking road trip, and then like bad guys show up for like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
The fact that they got to like three movies and they're actually not terrible.
I actually
I think
think
a lot of it has to do with Jim Carrey actually giving a shit.
yeah, none of that too, but like I think the films are actually better as the sequels go on because like I mean I didn't even watch the first one because it looked boring as shit. But yeah, number two's pretty good. I haven't seen three yet. That Knuckles show's okay. The only problem I have with it is that the what's weird about the Knuckles show is they do the thing with the Sonic film where it's like you got the animal character with a human character,
Yeah.
but there's a lot of emphasis on the human character to the point where Knuckles actually kind of becomes the secondary character, which is really bizarre to me.
mean, the other thing too, I think that it kind of like it's really weird to do it for like Looney Tunes or Bugs Bunny. I understand that Space Jam did it, but that movie really does suck. And Looney
Yeah.
Tunes back in action, outside of like the actual Looney Tune parts, the actual movie parts itself kind of suck.
Mm.
But
Mm.
Sonic actually, like the universe of Sonic has human characters in it. It's had them for a long time.
It has, yeah, but it's kind of inconsistent though with how the humans work, at least in the games anyway.
I mean, the
But yeah,
most recognizable games were from like that Sega CD slash fucking Dreamcast era,
you
and
mean Adventure?
in a lot of those, they have human characters.
They do, yeah, they
Yeah,
do.
and even Sonic '06 had fucking his human love interest.
Yeah, that's you know what's ironic about that? Did you know that in the early stage of Sonic the Hedgehog, as in like the very first Sonic the Hedgehog, the game, they were conceptualizing like what this character's going to be, and then they had the idea of like, okay, so we're going to make it a weasel, but then he's going to have a human girlfriend called Madonna, because Madonna. And then they were like, yeah, we don't want a human and an animal to be like lovers, which is really funny given what Sonic 06 ended up becoming. It's fucking stupid. That game is a fucking specimen. That Sonic 06 one.
Oof, yeah, it's pretty. The fact that Sonic can like survive being just absolute trash is a testament to the fan base. I think.
Yeah, and we're not going to be too mean about the fan base, but fucking fuck holy, like the people that do like those games, they really like breathe those games.
My
Like,
favorite part of the community are like the really fringe online ones, like the Christian Sonic fan art that's on like DeviantArt.
Mhm.
That's some of the funniest shit. Could you actually, you know what? Now that we talk about it, could you imagine if like Honey Bunny actually got picked up to be like a show or a movie, and we sold out and like had them come? They came to the real world,
you know what?
and
Like,
then like
I feel like
we immediately make the most lamest joke ever, which is she's in New York or something, and then she sees a car and she's like, horseless chariots.
those chariots. It must be the work of a demon. And then she just like kicks the taxi, it, like fucking barrels into a building.
Yeah, and then some like the guy in the taxi's like, hey, what like the amount of movies, that exist that have that fucking
Yeah.
scene. Whole even good things like
And then like yeah.
like the show Gargoyles had that.
Yeah, oh my god, yeah, it was a. Didn't they also name them after stuff like Brooklyn and things like that?
Yeah, they all named each other after like places in New York. At least they had a
Broadway.
at least they realized in that show that it is really tropey to have like the characters go, "Wow, look at that! The streets better than what the Romans made, and the horseless chariots." And then like the one smart character is like, "I think they're machines. They're like mechanized machines, but I don't entirely know how they work." At least they had that, which kind of like subverts the trope a little bit.
Yeah,
But
dude, like honestly, like call me egotistical, but like if we ever get to that point where that happens, like it would be stupid, but at the same time, I'm just kind of like, oh my god, yeah, I'd actually kind of like shit if that actually happened.
we would have to be able to like write and direct the movie because I think you could do something out of it. But if somebody
Yeah.
made that movie, it would be awful.
Oh yeah, it would be the biggest piece of shit like ever made. Like it'll probably make Dragon Ball Evolution look good in comparison. But
Oh my
like,
god! I just
but
remembered
then also
like the Fat Albert movie literally did this.
yeah, but
Wow.
like, and then like Nina come. Hang on, the fucking door blew open. Hold on. Give me a sec.
Ooh, he allowed the door to open.
No, no, the wind blew it open. Hold on.
Ooh, the
And then
wind.
like, and then like Nina comes through as well, and everyone's like, oh my god, look how buff she is, and she becomes like popular within the world itself through Instagram.
This conversation is literally melting my brain. I really hate the
You
idea.
hate Yeah.
of our characters being bastardized into like a really shitty like, oh, our characters, but in the real world. Whoa.
Yeah, you know what makes it even worse, and this one's gonna make you want to like die on the inside, because they're in like video form. That means they're eligible for Fortnite, so then they could just appear in Fortnite. Then
Do you know why? Do you know why people did that back in like the 80s where it's like Beastmaster 2, he goes to LA.
was it just so it could get like toys?
No, it's so that way like the budget, because if you're making a live action fantasy movie, it's really
Yeah,
expensive to just build like these fantasy sets. So they're like,
yeah.
what if we have like one fantasy set at the beginning, but then he gets summoned into our world, so that way we can just film on location.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
at first I was like, wow, that really does like, oh, that's really shit. Like, I can understand like a budget doing that, but then I remember that LA is like really close to the Nevada desert, and they could just fucking film in the desert.
Yeah. God, God, my brain, like as stupid as it is, my brain is like just thinking of like all the stupid possibilities that was ever a thing. Oh God, and then they get into LARPing, but then she actually kills the people because she's like actually strong. Oh God. Oh no. Okay. Do we know anybody that like works in the industry?
Oh, you know what? What we do is we give like the exclusive filming rights to the guy that made like the Winnie the Pooh serial killer movie, and we're like, hey, make our character a serial killer in one of your movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would
He's
be
he's always,
awful, but also very hilarious because it would just be like a lady in a really bad bunny costume murdering people,
yeah. It'll be heavily bastardized. Yeah.
bastardized.
Bastardized. Yeah. So it's bad when like I'm losing the ability to talk because of how stupid it is.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, the fans, the three people listening to this. This episode was
Yeah.
really a stinker.
Yeah. It's yeah. We suck.
Yeah, you know what? This episode is one of those movies.
One of those movies. Do you ever like, God, you know how like nowadays it's like just the norm to like throw any like freak in like a video game even if it doesn't make sense.
Oh
What's
yeah.
the Because like everyone blames Fortnite for like starting that trend, but like for real, like what do you think is the strangest game that these characters could appear in? Because I'm gonna say Call of Duty because like it just seems weird now that like Beavis and Butthead are just in there. But
Seeing
what do
our
you think is like?
seeing our fantasy characters holding guns would be really fucking stupid.
Yeah,
And that once again, that wouldn't be outside of the norm because I think that like Finn from fucking Adventure Time is
he's in
in
Fortnite.
Fortnite. Yeah.
I was playing as him last night. I was running around with a giant fucking minigun.
Or like, oh man, Jake the dog and Bender the Bending Rodrigo are in fucking
Fortnite. Yeah.
Fortnite, so you can have two of the same exact character voices duking it out.
The goof, the goofiest one to me is like I was in a squad once where one guy was Han Solo and the other one was Indiana Jones. So it was like two characters but with the same face because same actor.
Oh man, on a positive note, can we talk about how good that Indiana Jones game is?
Yeah, I played a bit of it when I was subscribed to Game Pass and I was generally gobsmacked.
Dude, apparently Troy Baker, like his voice to do like Indiana Jones, like that younger Harrison Ford was so fucking good that the guy doing like the recruiting for like the voice talent, he
Yeah,
thought that he was listening to like old Harrison Ford footage that they didn't
no shit.
use. Like he was comparing everyone's voices to like, Troy Baker's like Harrison Ford impression, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, no, that's not Harrison Ford. That's Troy Baker doing the voice." And they was like, "Oh well, then just hire him." Like what the fuck?
That's hilarious because that is actually amazing because I do love that like E3. Well, no, it was the Game Awards where Harrison Ford gets on stage. And he's like, if I knew that this guy was really good, I would have done it myself. It's just like Jesus Christ. Imagine that. Imagine like the old man who like was the guy being like, yeah, this guy's so good. I should have just done it myself. Honestly, like Jesus Christ.
I think
I
that
mean,
Han
he would
I
have.
think that Han Solo movie that they did,
Mhm.
um, it made people realize, man, this stunt casting that they do for movies is really bad because there were guys who not only looked exactly like Harrison Ford but sounded it like him too, to the point
Yeah,
where there was one guy who he was basically just a clone of Harrison Ford, like young Harrison Ford,
really.
and they had him play young Harrison Ford in a completely different movie.
I have to say that because you got me more
Yeah,
curious.
hold on, I gotta fucking find it. This will be a great thing to end it on.
Yeah, yeah, we recorded like an hour and 20 minutes. Yeah.
The only reason why they didn't hire this guy is because he was a fucking YouTuber.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wait, but that really stopped them though.
yeah. I mean, and then I need to fucking find this. Yeah, this fucking guy. Like, I have to pull this up. Just a
Wait,
clone of the
when he
younger
smiles
version.
too. When
When
he
you,
smiles, that's when it comes out the most. Yeah.
yeah, you see that, and you're like, that guy would have been fucking perfect. And then it's like, yeah, but he's a YouTuber, so he doesn't count.
You sure about that? Like, I think a lot of people flock towards YouTubers nowadays, for better or for worse.
Well, I mean, like, I I get it. You kind of want to have star power when you do a movie, but could you imagine if in the trailer they had a guy look exactly and sound exactly like the character?
You would honestly think they probably just de-age him with CG, and it's just like, no, that's what he looks like.
No, you could have just done you could have saved money by hiring this fucking guy.
Yeah,
Cuz not
but
only that, he's not in the industry. You could have just fucking hired him for cheap and like had him play the fucking character.
yeah, but hey, fuck us, I guess. So we
And then
don't
you
know
could
any
have,
better,
and then
apparently.
because it's about family, because it's about fucking family, you could have had this guy have like a chance, and then it would be like this great like anybody can make it story.
Yeah, Christ.
But no, we can't do that. You know,
Do you ever feel like there are people in Hollywood who, like, because you and I are like, oh, just have him be it, like he would have been perfect. Do you feel like there's people in Hollywood that are like, no, the people don't understand how this works. They are stupid. Do you feel like that's actually a thing where they think that we're probably stupid and don't know any better?
I mean that is part of it. There is some snobbery, but the other thing is that everything is done by like actors guilds, and like this guy is probably not in an actors guild, which means that he
Yeah.
can't work on a union fucking project. But like you could just, all you need to do is have like roles that are like accredited. So they could have just had him be in a short film, have him be
Yeah.
two short films, have him accredited, put him in the Actors Guild, and then fucking like fast track him into the movie. That would have taken zero fucking effort from a multi-billion-dollar company. But no, they gotta hire some fucking guy that's in the fucking industry. It's like, oh, I don't get it. I just don't get it. And you know what? Not only that, like the Actors Guild has exceptions. Like Danny Trejo will be in like 3 student films a year to like help out people because there are
Yeah.
exceptions for that, and he'll do it for fucking free.
Yeah. Danny Trejo's like,
He's the man.
he really is the man. And like, not only that too, isn't he like in the top 10 of like most roles ever when it comes to actors?
I think he has the most roles ever. I think literally
Um,
because of the thing that I just talked about.
Actors with the most roles.
I think he also
So
died the most on screen because he has it in his contract whenever he plays a villain.
yeah, because he used to be
He
like
has
a
to die.
criminal.
Oh, he used to be a horrible criminal.
Yeah,
Used to
yeah,
rob banks, sell like guns and drugs and all that other shit, and he turned his life around, and then he became a force for good.
Yeah.
So whenever he plays a bad guy character, it's in his contract that he has to die because he wants it to be very clear that crime doesn't pay.
This fucking list, god damn it. So scroll all the way down to number one. I think a lot of these websites might be bogus because it almost seems like it's going off of
I mean, if you just go to his page, his
what Wikipedia.
IMDb, if you go to his IMDb page and see what he's actually in, it's like an endless fucking list. I think it's like 400 fucking credits.
Yeah, IMDb. Uh, yeah. So previously, so I get this right. As an actor, he's got 25 upcoming films. Previously, he's done 40.
25.
Yeah, and then previously he's got 456 under his belt. At least according to this website.
456. Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah,
He's the man.
and then he is, and then as a producer, he's got two films coming up, and before that, he's got like 11. So
A lot of people also don't know that he's been sober for like ever. Like he hasn't. I think he has like brought to you by Danny Trejo's like mock cocktail mixes. He actually has like non-alcoholic cocktail recipes and his own brand of non-alcoholic liquor.
that's pretty cool. Can, can
Yeah.
I can I also say too about Danny Trejo is I do kind of respect the idea that like if he plays a villain, he has to die. That is like the complete opposite of like The Rock, which is like I have to win no matter what, which is so like which is probably the most emasculative thing I could ever like hear in my whole life.
Not only does he have to win, he has to have equal to or more screen time than the fucking main character if he's playing a side role.
Yeah, and is it him or is it Vin Diesel where he has to be the tallest one as well?
Yeah, no, that's him.
Christ,
The
like
Rock, The
because
Rock
it's
is such a
funny.
fucking. But then again, he's a fucking wrestler or was a wrestler, and that they gave him like he was an Attitude Era wrestler.
Yeah, but I do find it really funny how like he has all these rules where he has to sound like the man, which is funny because it sounds like the most insecure shit I think a man could ever like do.
Yeah, and then like fucking Jason Statham had to like add shit into his contract to fucking combat that because he's like, well, the Rock like his contract is just making me look like a fucking bitch in this movie.
Mm. It is, yeah, it is ridiculous. I do find it funny now that because he's like a corporate shill, everyone refers to him as Dwayne the Billboard Johnson because all he does is just like just shell
Oh,
out all these shit.
talking about like the fucking like oh dude, I'm gonna say allegedly a lot here.
Yeah, it's The Rock. I don't give a shit.
Because fucking The Rock, Dwayne the Billboard Johnson, fucking he took like $25 million to promote the U.S. military for fucking X football. X
Yeah.
football being like extreme football. It was a thing that like Vince McMahon made as like a counter to it. Also, like I believe it has less views than women's football right now.
Oh, really?
The U.S. military spent $24 million to have Dwayne the Rock Johnson advertise the U.S. military for this fucking sport that nobody watches, and he only does it once. So he just took like $24 million allegedly from the U.S. government and then just did nothing with it.
Christ, like the idea of like you get paid that much money and you don't even like follow through with it is insanity to me.
Dude, if the fucking U.S. government gave me like $50, I'd be sucking its dick. Like what? Like
I know, yeah. They gave
shit.
me money
I'm
to like
talking. I'm talking relatively positively about the U.S. military, and they don't even pay me.
yeah. Hey, sponsor us, military.
Yeah, for some reason, like a fucking M1 Abrams gets fucking put into the comic just because we're sponsored by the U.S. military industrial complex.
That or like at the end of the comic, there's just like an advertisement where it's her on like a tank, like Tank Girl style.
Yeah, this is the us selling out arc.
Yeah. We need money. Well, I mean, we're still making it. The fact that we're actually making this proves that we can get this shit out there.
Hey,
But like
U.S.
right now.
government, if you want us to make a fucking comic that's pro-military as a side hustle, well, we'd be definitely. And you don't even have to. You don't even have to give us $25 million.
Hey, UK government, listen. I know you're kind of sus for the most part, but hey, we want to mind a little bit of that, dough our way to get this out there. I'm sure I'll say something nice about you.
Yeah, we'll make the L-85 look good.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll make it look
we'll,
like
we'll,
a gun
we'll,
that actually functions.
we'll draw her somehow like holding it, so we'll figure that out later, and then we'll have all the characters posing with it. We'll say that Britain wants you when they probably don't want you in other factors.
You know, if we ever
But
did, if we ever did sell out, like, this clip would be played like as a comedy bit on
yeah,
everyone's video.
this will be the clip where 20 years down the line they'll play this, and then we're sponsored by like the most ridiculous shit that makes no fucking sense, and then it'll
Yeah,
be
well,
like,
you see, we said that as a joke, but, like, nobody understands the trials and tribulations that a creator can go through when money is involved and blah, blah, blah. It's honestly our fans' fault.
that now that's a joke, just so you know, people watching this, that's a joke.
That's every single YouTuber that went down that fucking path.
Yeah, like they just blame the fans. It's just like, you fucking cretins,
That
you
is
got
the
there because of fans.
that is literally the worst thing that you can do online is blame the fans for your shortcomings. There are certain
Yeah.
instances where I could definitely blame the fans, like Evangelion.
Yeah.
You can blame the fans for that turning into garbage, but
Yeah. But no, we are joking. I mean, then again, money. I wouldn't be against money, so
it's like the entire end of this episode is just us, like, saying, "Oh yeah, we would lose our moral scruples if you gave us a shit ton of money."
Yeah.
It's that
Hey,
thing. It's that thing from Spaceballs. We're not doing this for money. We're doing it for a shitload of money.
dude, the one of my favorite like adverts was on Creepcast, where it's like, hey guys, before we begin the video, I want to talk about our sponsors. There's one thing that always brings us all together, and that's money. It's just like, it's so blunt, but it's like, I mean, he's not wrong.
Yeah, like my favorite one was that I can't find the clip anymore, but it exists somewhere. It was the guys from Tears for
Yeah.
Fears, where they're like, "Oh, we're doing like another tour again. We're actually just gonna tour," and the band's back
Yeah.
together, and like they're like, "So what? Why are you guys like back together on tour? Like it's been so long." It's like, "Oh, we're doing it so that way we can rekindle the power of the '80s." And then like he just like laughs and he goes, "No, I'm just joking. We're doing it because we need money." Fucking,
Oh my God.
that was great.
Yeah.
I was like, nice. At least he's honest.
But you know what? Real talk though, jokes aside, for those who did donate, and if you are watching this, thank you so much. And we are looking at things behind the scenes in regards to the comic, but we'll keep you updated.
I mean, the fact that we're doing this even though we're way under fucking budget
Yeah.
should show
I
that
mean, yeah,
even though we're goofing on it, we are not really doing this for financial gain right now.
yeah. And if that does happen, it's just a bonus, really.
Yeah,
So
we're doing this because we actually wanted to do it.
yeah,
And we're also really fucking tired of like playing video games that we fucking hate, so we're just like, instead of playing games, we could just make something.
I won't lie. I don't know if this is classed as Schadenfreude. What's it called? Schadenfreude.
Schadenfreude.
Schadenfreude. But like, there is a sick part of me that gets satisfaction the fact I'm actually making something, whereas everyone's just like playing shitty video games.
I think it's the fact that like other people are complaining that they can't get anything done, and they play video games, and then we stopped playing games for the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
think
mean,
that's
this. I mean, like not only that too, like right now, this is my week off. So if anything, theoretically, like I should just be enjoying my free time. But the way I see using my free time is by doing more of this when I can, without any stress, you know.
Yeah.
So because my idea of like taking time off is to try and do something productive that's like a bit different than usual. So yeah, I mean
This
that's how
is
that other book thing got started.
this frame actually looks really good. I'm gonna add the like exactly like the guitar. I'm gonna add the locks later, so that way I can keep them
Yeah, no,
consistent.
yeah, don't worry, but don't. You can leave the guitar for the time being.
Well, it's the
So
same
yeah,
thing with
but
the locks on her straight jacket.
oh, oh, the locks. Yeah, yeah, the
Yeah.
locks are. That's probably the only annoying thing about the character design. But hey, at least it ain't fucking like a million belts everywhere.
Yeah, he is Dunzo. Yo, what you doing, dude?
Yeah. Who are you? Who are you? Fucking. Who am I? I don't know. Who are you? God, that actually that looks like it could be an iconic shot right there.
Well, it's the hashtag iconic. The iconic. All right, we need to
Whoever,
stop. We need to stop. I'm so sorry. This podcast was terrible.
all right, I tell you what. Whoever gets a tattoo of this last panel, will get something, which
Yeah,
is nothing.
tetanus from the fucking.
One of my favorite like
If you get
non-award
if you
things.
get a if you get a tattoo of these characters, we'll give you tetanus. Don't get a tattoo. Like if you are gonna get a tattoo, we're not gonna be directly responsible for you getting like headshotted by your work.
Not only that too, but like wait until there's more like material of this shit, so that way you can like pick and choose. If you do take a still from the comic.
Yeah.
So
No, you're gonna get it. No, that's when somebody like gets the tattoo and then we immediately sell out. So then they're like, "Great, I have a tattoo of something shit."
at least it's for like selling out, not like for some heinous crime.
God, could you imagine like getting a fucking Star Wars tattoo back in the day when it was like awesome, and then like now Star Wars is just like this corporate nonsense garbage. So now you just have this tattoo on you forever of some bullshit.
Well, that's why I pretty much said to myself, like, don't ever get a tattoo of something you like because that thing you like might be fucking annoying later on, or you might not even like it yourself.
Or like people that were like directly attached to it have some massive controversy, and now that's just attached to your body.
Yeah, like certain rock bands who I'm not even going to say out loud.
That are like tattoos of like your fucking girlfriend, not your wife, your girlfriend. That is
Mm.
one of the things where you're like, ah.
That those are always the hilarious ones where it's like I got a tattoo of my wife's name, but then they're not even married anymore.
Oof. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
you
Well,
know,
this is the next
yeah,
page. This is going to be
yeah.
they're going to get into combat.
I can't wait till you draw that shit at the bottom right.
Yeah. All right. Y'all take it easy.
All right, bye bye.